you know, I did a deal with TBT Records, and this guy was the corporate. That's why you know who Snoop Dogg is. They did all that stuff. This guy was responsible for all that stuff. But I tricked him. I knew it was bad. See, I only ended up doing it one at a time deal, you know, so I could get back out of it. And thank God it lasted through one record and into the next one. But I had every intention of getting out of it. And I set it up. That's why that was the one where I said I'm the producer, because I didn't care what happened at that point. I was more interested in working with people and growing as an individual. But I knew, you know, like I just knew that I would never be popular in that way, because every single idea I ever made up, I used to like go, oh my God, people are really gonna love this song. And it was like, it never really materialized until it really materialized, right? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, so now 3,000 people will go to London show or something. But for so long, it's just like kind of weird. Do you know what I mean? In the way I thought it would happen like it happened for Ride or any of these bands that I love from the UK. Do you know what I mean? I would just read about them in the paper and there'd be like sold out show immediately. You just hear about a band and the next minute it's like they're everywhere. I didn't understand that the corporate machine was paying for it. I would be like, who the fuck are these guys? They're everywhere. I didn't realize that that's a publicist.
So what's your thoughts of HBO?
You know, I have really mixed feelings, because they've done such, for what their medium is, they've done such great stuff for a long time. But you know, that, I wasn't responsible for them choosing my track. See? The way it was presented to me was like, we're working for Martin Scorsese and we want to use your song. What do you think? So it's Martin Scorsese. But you know, it was kind of a favor to somebody. It was like insider thing. But I was out of the loop. And you can tell that it was one of those things, because my music's more like, it was kind of like neo-retro, but not retro, but you know what I mean? In the way that it is, all the things that it is, right? And here's the 1930s fucking period drama. You know, it's like, oh, here's the Rolling Stones doing the Velvet Underground, and then here's this 1930s docudrama or whatever, right? So you could tell that there's something amiss there. And so that, I don't want to be ungrateful. On the one hand, it should infuriate people, because they're like, well, is that really how everything happens? And that's really how everything happens. But I don't have that kind of power myself.
What do you put your current success down to? Because, you know, as an artist in stature,
a combination of many things, okay? Certainly having access to the film helps.
Yeah.
But I also seeded the internet, the FTP, with the FTP site, and all the tour, and Napster when it existed, with all my music for free. That allowed people internationally, where they do not have record shops, villages everywhere, to trade those files amongst themselves. Now, I was against file trading, but I knew that this had to be decided by governments and businesses and the whole thing, and scientists outside of my control. So, knowing that situation would occur with the internet, I played both sides of the game. I played physical hard copy to protect my rights of my own thing, and I seeded the entire internet, including foreign Russian stuff. So my concept was to capture market share or awareness anywhere, so people would trade files in favor of people. People would go, that's a great thing, you just gave us away all your music for free. Sure, at the same time I'd sell it and take it off the internet, because it has to be resolved by society. I can't do that. So why wouldn't you play all sides of the game? Do you know what I mean? It's just like if you were playing in pre-Napoleon Europe, you know? Well, you don't even know what's going to come out with all this stuff. You have your fingers in all the pies, right? But you're going to cover your own ass. So I use the same strategy musically, you know? And they still haven't resolved it yet. But the whole thing that I don't like is that they've decided that music and art has no value, because we have it all, and I don't agree, because I think that many different things should be able to occur. And I think any kind of craftsman, any kind of content provider should call the tune too. I think if you're creating TV, video, music, you should have the decision, not the marketplace, how much your stuff. And the consumer should have the decision whether they want to support that. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important not to sign your stuff away to perpetuity. And it's also like, imagine yourself, you're this magical unicorn, and the cowboy comes up and goes, I'm going to capture you, and you're going, okay, well, I want to create the corral, so I'm not going to let you capture me. So you better like go.
Describe your love of the pasty. In particular.
Well, they don't really have them in Germany.
They don't have pasties in Germany.
I'm sure they have their own thing that I haven't discovered.
No, they've got every civilized society's got some version of a pasty.
First of all, people don't understand that Germany isn't one nation, even though it has a border. They fucking hate Bavarians, and you go different directions, and they're different, you know. And you know, in Bavaria, their breakfast is not a pasty; it's a beer-cooked big white veal sausage.
Yeah, no, but there's always space in society for.
What was your first experience of the like sausages though? I had mine last week
Ah,
in Nuremberg.
yeah.
So,
I like to make beer brats, so I just poke the sides, you know, boil them up, and then barbecue them or whatever, fry them. I find them to be there's something about them that I love, and evidently that's like a Thungrian sort of also Bavarian type thing. They like to do it that way, but the Prussians are just like. But the whole sausage culture, you know, they mastered all that stuff. The Germans did, because if you look at their whole diet, it's like really cool. If you look at the farm, you know, they grow these seasonal vegetables, and the whole culture is absolutely into seasonal vegetables. But then they're like, okay, we're gonna eat this when it comes in, eat this when it comes in. Okay, we're gonna kill that pig, and then the sausages for the next couple days, and then like, we're gonna feed everything we can't eat to the pig, and then kill that pig, and it goes all the way around the year to the cabbages. Then they pickle the stuff, and it just they have a year-round food. Like every one person's house, your extended family could live off of just what you have in your yard. And they brought that to such a level, it surpassed anything in the UK or anywhere. They had the grains and everything going on, and that gave them the time to build cuckoo clocks, I think, you know, or whatever. Eventually that they did in these certain areas, you know, they were able to do a lot of stuff, you know, early on. I mean, I really do think so, because it's just a trick of the climate and their system.
What would you go to Greg's if it was in Berlin?
I asked Greg's. I asked them, and they said they're not. They responded to me on Twitter. They said we're not allowed to expand internationally at this time. Because I said I wanted to control their flagship franchise in Berlin. But it's so funny. I kind of want to open a 24-hour restaurant like these ones. These guys in LA always make these ones, and they're really great. They serve like a little bit of everything. And there's a niche for it, for sure. But I don't want to work. And I don't want to do books, and I don't want to be a boss and fire people or hire them. I actually do like a lot of people, right? But then if I bring it back to, say, going through high school, being a teenager or something, I'm well acquainted with how a mass of people acts. And I've seen it express itself in many different ways, from the internet to every other thing, and I'm disappointed profoundly. Down to litter on the street, and to charitable things, and to the way men treat women, and the way women treat themselves, the way that people succumb to advertising and their shopping patterns, and how cities are planned, and how we're underachievers, and there's a poverty of ambition for it. So all these things bug the shit out of me. But then again, I'm surprised, like on a level, I like so many people. See, if I sit down and talk, most people I actually do like, see, and they're really good. And I am fond of them.
A general like disappointment rather than.
I tend to be a misanthropist as a mass of people, but I care. I'm a humanist. I care about everyone. It's a weird hang-up that I have, right? Anonymously, I very much care about them, but then I go through these different phases. Like the chakras.
Like the chakras.
I think so. But it's the opposite way. Because
Well, do I depends which system?
yeah. Maybe if you're in Australia.
Yeah,
Southern
would
Hemisphere.
Would it go? Would it go the other way around?
We have to ask a yogi. And then it's like, ask 100 yogis, get 100 yogi answers, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That's the- Do you ever coin phrases?
I think we do it. I think we're doing it moment by moment, aren't we?
I do about once a week, I think.
What's this week's?
I'm trying to think of the last thing that I thought was really funny. Okay, this afternoon I thought it was really funny because it says stub it out on the ashtrays. So I took a picture of one of them and I'm like, pedophilia UK, stub it out for my Twitter. Because to me, I thought it was like, would be the funniest black humor poster campaign that you probably almost see. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure if I quite do on that one. But
Like how I found it ironically weird that the Samaritans were making an app to remind you to care about your friends who are at risk of killing themselves, and like, except it doesn't work on goths and emos. But they actually have an app now for your Twitter, the Samaritans, that you can download that follows everything your friends are saying and identifies at-risk tweets that could indicate that they're suicidal, so you can reach out to them. So you're already, maybe they're gonna kill themselves because you're not paying attention to them and they're acting out. But isn't it weird that there's an algorithm reading all of your friends' tweets for you and then making a value judgment that at the same time, can they get sectioned now? Because there's an algorithm that's watching everything they type and go, oh, you're at risk, now we're gonna section you. I don't think so. I think it's all charitable. Weird though, right? It's a little bit creepy. But I said there's a few bugs. It doesn't really work with goths and evos.
did they reply to you?
No. I just snapped a picture. I didn't want to hassle the Samaritans. They might get depressed. Right?
No, we've been doing this for almost 2 hours. This is a long one. Who's brought a sleeping bag? Anton has flown over from his home in Berlin to help us support an amazing charity in Leeds called MAP, Music and Art Production, who do projects for kids who are really hard to reach, creative projects. Anton's given his fee to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. It's my pleasure, actually. I was very hard to reach. I mean, this little lemon fell far from the tree, you know?
Thank you for what you do. It's what you create is beautiful.
Yeah, I want to keep trying. You know what I mean? Harder.
Keep trying.
Yeah,
Keep trying, man.
I believe in it. But I want to thank everybody for coming, too.
Anton Newcombe.